after. So, good morning, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Froggy Friday, this June 26th. It's a beautiful day here in the Okanagan, and it's wonderful to see everybody here. And I see we have Reverend Claire, Reverend Pat, and we have our practitioner Paul online. And welcome, everybody. So today it's going to be not quite a one-woman show, but it is me doing the presiding and me doing the talk. So the talk is We Are Family. I've got all my sisters with me. So there's the talk. Well, and brothers, of course, Paul. Yes. So we are here having a good day, and we would like to open, as we normally do, by asking Paul to lead us in a very nice Zen meditation and then an opening affirmative prayer. So I'll hand over to you, Paul, to lead us in this practice. Thank you very much. Asante sana.
Thank you very much, Reverend. So I just ask you to just make yourself comfortable as you prepare for this sacred moment. Just however that comfort may be, just feel comfortable where you are. If it's okay with you, you can close your eyes and take a deep breath in and release it. Another deep breath in to help you center and release. One more deep breath in and release. Just let your body calm, relax your muscles. Be kind to yourself and just let go. Any disturbing thoughts, anything that may be claiming for your attention. Just release it, knowing that you are doing this for your own spiritual growth and for your health. Just let it go for this moment. Just relax. And willfully entertain the awareness, entertain the truth that you are surrounded, you are immersed, you are one with Spirit. Right now and right here, it is Spirit expressing itself as it knows best as you. You don't need to be doing anything else. You don't need to be anywhere else, because this is the place, this is the time, and this is the experience the Spirit has chosen. It is sacred. It is a wonderful time. So for the next 2 or 3 minutes, just let this awareness sink. Let this awareness be with you. that you are surrounded, you are immersed, you are one with spirit. And this is what spirit knows best for this time. Rejoice in this truth. Take time to enjoy this awareness. Take time to let this awareness calm you, to let this awareness make you relax and just know the truth. Relax in this time. I'll take care of the time. Just relax in this awareness. And in this awareness, in this centeredness, I once more remind myself of the truth and I verbalize it. I say, all that there is nothing but God. God in expression, expressing itself wonderfully in all creation. As me and as each and every one of us in this particular time, in this Froggy Friday service, we are all a full expression, full in the perfection of the one, expressing this one. With this awareness and with this realization, I know and I claim the perfect unfoldment of this session, of this service. I claim the growth that is our birthright in this sacred hour that we're going to share together. I claim harmony, I claim peace, I claim joy, and I claim love. Because I know this is the nature of God and it's unfolding right here and right now. I'm grateful for this moment. I'm grateful for this sacred time that we call Froggy Friday. I'm grateful for the willingness to share this moment amongst ourselves. And I'm grateful for this truth. And I release my word into the Lord, knowing that it has taken shape and it is already done in the mind of the one. And together we say, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Paul. I really appreciate that. I do feel all zen and calm. And good morning, habari ya jioni, Lady T. Good to see you, or to see your name anyway.
Good
Yeah,
to
right.
be here. Thank you.
How are you today?
We've had a bit of a hectic day. Today was the last day, well, the first day of the half-term break for my children. So we've been at the orphanage and all over
Ah,
having a good time. Thank you.
wonderful, wonderful. Well, I'm glad you could make it. You are just in time for Reverend Pat or Reverend Claire to share an education update. Who would like to take that away for us and share upcoming classes and what's needed and who can register, etc.?
Want to go ahead, Claire?
You're on mute.
Why don't you go ahead, Pat?
Okay, so our next class is beginning next week, actually, on Thursday, July the 2nd. It is the creative word. I think it's the byline is understanding spiritual mind treatment. I don't have it in front of me right now, so I'm guessing that's what it is. It kind of replaces or is an addition to the art and science of spiritual mind treatment. It is a 6-week class that is being led by Reverend Claire, Reverend Myrna, and also our ministerial student, Christine. Will be participating in that as well. We are so excited because we have 13 students lined up.
Wow,
Isn't that
that's
great? Hey,
amazing. Oh, people
that
are going to
is
be so prayed over.
that's right. That's right. So and it is also an accredited class through home office, and it is one of the required classes for people who would be interested in perhaps down the road becoming a practitioner or perhaps just exploring that possibility. It is our intention to offer the Access Consciousness Studies class in the fall. And so that would be one of the classes that you would want to have under your belt. And even if you know how to do spiritual mind treatment or you've done spiritual mind treatment for quite a while, it's always good for me anyways to participate in a class where we're just going over those principles and going over those steps. And additionally, there is for students who want to pick up a hard copy. Several months ago, Reverend Claire arranged through a miraculous thing to have a book sent to the office called The 5 Steps to Freedom by John Waterhouse. So whoever signs up for the class and is able to make it to the office will get a free copy of that book, which is theirs to keep. It is a gift from Reverend Claire, and always nice to have that handy when you're thinking about treatment. So we're really excited to see how that is going to unfold. Um, at the moment, we are looking at doing a short class or perhaps just a workshop or something in August, and then gearing up for the fall. So sign up. It's not too late.
Oh, thank you. I've watched the education thread and people signing up for classes, and I'm very excited. And I'm glad that you shared all of that online. So for people who are watching this after the fact, you get all the details and you can sign up on the WhatsApp student group. So keep your eyes out for that. If you haven't signed up and you want to, you still can. I don't think there's a size limit to the class, is there? No.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
it's capped at 50.
50. Okay. There you go. So there's a little bit of room left.
Yeah, just some. So we're
Yeah,
we're we're beyond 1/5 there. So that's great. Thanks, Reverend Claire.
that's awesome. Thank you. All right. So, any announcements? I'm just trying to think on the top of my head, other than the education. We have had our recent community gathering, which I believe started online and then morphed to in person. Would you like to share a little bit about that, Paul? Were you there or do you know about it?
Somewhere there's an unmute button, Paul. Somewhere there's an unmute button.
You're still muted. Okay. Well, you managed it earlier. We might have to come back to that later. And hopefully you can get that working because you look like you're frozen now. But I believe the gatherings are the third Saturday of every month at around 2 p.m. And we did have a Zoom room set up. So I will find out if that is going to be how it will be held ongoing as a online or hybrid or in person. And we will keep you informed of that through the student WhatsApp chat. So stay tuned for more information there. Next, we get to sing, and it's entirely up to you if you want to sing with your mute on or sing with your mute off and join in. So let me share the song we are singing. Here we go. I will do my best to be in key. We are one people, one strong heartbeat, just one spirit shining bright within us all. We are part of one another, born to love each other. When it's all said and done, we are one. We are one people, one strong heartbeat, just one spirit shining bright within us all. We are part of one another, born to love each other. When it's all said and done, we are one. When it's all said and done, we are one. I can go back and look to see if I was in key. Ooh. All right. I do miss Barb's singing, I have to say. Now, I get to introduce myself. So, I'm Reverend Melody Bailey, and I am on the CSL Kenya board. I am on the Conscious Living Foundation board, and I get to share my talk today, which is titled, We Are Family. I've got all my sisters and brothers with me. So now that I have given you all an earworm for the rest of the day, let's talk about what this means, metaphysically speaking. Our New Thought teaching asks us to believe that we are unique individualizations of the divine, that we are also one global family. We are one. We then study the teachings of the science of mind to prove this to ourselves through the logic of Thomas Troward and the deep dive into the thing itself by Ernest Holmes, or of Ernest Holmes, because he deep dives in all of his books. Now, think about families. No two siblings are exactly alike, not even twins. There's still a difference. One is quiet, the other is adventurous. One is artistic, another analytical. One loves to travel, while another never wants to leave home. Parents don't usually wish all their children were identical. Their uniqueness is part of the joy of being a family. If that is true of a human family, perhaps it is also true of the divine family. Spirit is not trying to produce billions of identical human beings. It is experiencing itself in billions of unique ways. Every person we meet is another way that life has chosen to know itself. Essentially, all of humanity partakes of the divine because we are made from it, of it. It is basically the source of who we are and everything in its entirety and all potential. When we look at being unique individualizations of the divine as part of the one family, we begin to see that there is a power in community. We are a spiritual community walking together on a spiritual path. As it says in the Bible, I think it's Matthew, "For where two or three are gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst of them." Now, we may not all use the name God. Sometimes we use the name Spirit, the universe, Allah, Yahweh, or even Om, but it is that which unites us. It is in us, as us, around us, and by means of us. To paraphrase Thich Nhat Hanh from his article in awaken.org, what this means for community is that the community becomes a body, with each of us a cell in that body. If someone has no community, they are often isolated, lonely, and maybe needy because they crave something. They may not know what it is. They may not know it is community, but it often is. On a personal note, that is how I came to find this teaching. I was lonely. I wasn't lonely because there weren't people around me. There were. I had friends, family, work. But there is a particular kind of loneliness that comes when you don't feel spiritually understood, when you have questions that don't quite fit the conversation everyone else seems to be having. I wasn't necessarily looking for answers. I was looking for my people. However, I did not belong to a community, and a Buddhist friend of mine talked about what she called the Church of Positive Thinking, and I thought that sounded pretty cool. I checked out a few other religious communities, Yogananda being one, but when I arrived at the Kelowna Centre for Positive Living, as it was known then, I felt at home. This place, this community, was answering the questions I had and filled up that place of loneliness with belonging. Now, going back to the body of community, let's compare this to a forest. By the way, I love trees. Each tree has its own shape, size, and unique qualities, but all trees contribute to the harmonious growth of the forest. For those who love science, it is now known that beneath the floor of a forest lies a network of interconnected fungal threads known as mycelium, otherwise known as the wood wide web. It is like a communication system for the forest, sharing information, resources, and warning each other of impending threats. Scientists have discovered that older trees actually send nutrients to younger trees through this underground network. Trees that are damaged receive support from healthy trees. The strongest don't simply compete, they contribute. Imagine if that's how spiritual community worked. When my faith is low, perhaps yours carries me. When you are grieving, perhaps someone else's joy quietly sustains you, or you have someone willing to sit and just be with you. When one of us forgets who we are, the rest of the community remembers, until we do. Amazing, really. Well, this is what it is like being in community. Communities, healthy ones anyway, support each other, provide strength and wisdom, have something in common that has drawn them together. For us, it is spirituality. Say for Toastmasters, it's public speaking. For the work community, the employer and the work site is the common thread. When we gather together in community, the eyes of the community see the strong points as well as the weak points of every member. And by eyes, we mean the insight and vision of the collective body of the community. That means everyone. Each community has its own vibration, its own energy, and that can be there to both protect and transform us. When we each contribute to that energy, we add our own energy, raising us up through the support that each contribution, no matter how small, brings. It is a gift to the community when we participate through our presence, our attention, our acts of kindness. Being in community may help us do things that are difficult for us to do on our own. The collective energy of the community helps us in our individual transformation just by being a part of it. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, said, "We acquire a new sense of human values in realizing that all humanity is divinity waking up to itself through self-discovery and self-realization. All people are of God. The only evidence we have of divinity is humanity." And that's from a Holmes reader on practical wisdom. That's a remarkable statement. Holmes doesn't say that some people are divine. He doesn't say only the enlightened are divine. He doesn't say only people who agree with us are divine. He says all humanity is divine. Waking up to itself, which means every encounter, including this one, becomes sacred. Sometimes we meet someone who reminds us of truth. Sometimes we meet someone who challenges us to practice it. Our CSL global vision is that we envision a world in which we live and grow as one global family that respects and honors the interconnectedness of all life. A world where this kinship with all life prospers and connects through the guidance of spiritual wisdom and experience. As a spiritual community, we don't see the world through rose-colored glasses and can see what is happening globally. We can see where politicians and leaders stoke division, making people in their or other countries appear as the enemy, separating us from them and making them others. And often they are presented as being less than us, not a part of the community. When we leave anyone out of the idea that all humanity is divinity and don't recognize the wholeness inherent in all people, then we deny their wholeness. When we other them, we deny God. Othering doesn't only happen through governments and leaders. It can happen in families, in workplaces, definitely on social media, and even in spiritual communities. Sometimes we quietly decide that someone is not one of us, maybe because of politics, maybe because of age, or they make us uncomfortable. The invitation isn't to agree with everyone. The invitation is to refuse to stop seeing their humanity. How do we then envision a world as one global family? How do we follow the vision for CSL in unpredictable and turbulent times? We stay strong in community. We choose to see the divinity in all people, even those who are stoking division themselves, for they are a part of our global family, whether we approve of their actions or not. While diversity is a fact, creating belonging without othering is a conscious practice. We must love each other, the agape universal type of love that is selfless. For while we are unique individualizations, we are one global family. I want to share a synopsis of a story that I read as a young adult and found quite fascinating. It was by Arthur C. Clarke. You may know I'm a sci-fi geek, right? If not, now you do. Anyway, this very short book story was from his book titled The Wind from the Sun. And the gist is that telepathy had been discovered, and early experiments picked up thoughts from distant alien civilizations, which were vast and highly advanced. The aliens were unaware of Earth, and nobody so far had found a way to make them hear us. Human thoughts were too quiet for them to notice. A star was discovered on a collision course with Earth, and humans didn't have the technology to divert it or escape. The only hope was to attract some of the aliens' attention, since they would easily be able to help. Someone came up with a plan to create a mental shout by having everyone on Earth focus on the same thing at the same time. Now, emotions were known to carry very well in telepathy, so the most powerful human emotion was suggested. A device was available to enhance people's emotions, but everybody would have to choose it. The story ended this way. Now, there is only one way in which a signal of the required intensity can be produced. I said that fear was a powerful generator, but it is not powerful enough. Even if we could strike all humanity with a simultaneous moment of terror, the impulse could not be detected more than 2,000 light years away. We need at least 4 times that range, and we can achieve it by using the only emotion that is more powerful than fear. Mankind now faces its ultimate emergency. In such a moment of crisis, is it not right for us to call upon the instinct that has always ensured our survival in the past? A poet in an earlier, almost equally troubled age, put it better than I can ever hope to do. We must love one another or die. You can see why I really like that story. Whether or not telepathy is possible isn't really the point. The story asks a deeper question. If humanity had only one message to send into the universe, what would it be? Fear, anger, competition, or love? Science of Mind would suggest that love isn't merely a pleasant emotion. Love is a creative force. Love is alignment, in alignment with capital R reality itself. As a part of this community, we belong in the community, which means we recognize and celebrate our differences, where we includes all people. There is an idea by John A. Powell called bridging, which occurs when 2 or more people or groups come together across acknowledged lines in difference in a way that affirms their distinct identities and allows for a new, more expansive identity. Bridging rejects the idea of us versus them without erasing what makes each unique and individual. To practice bridging requires willingness, compassion, patience, and open-mindedness. It is not about proving you are right. It is about listening with curiosity to another and being willing to be vulnerable and brave. Bridging honors the humanity in all people, even those whose views are radically different from yours. Bridging doesn't ask me to become someone else. It asks me to become more fully myself while making room for you to become more fully yourself. Think of a bridge. A bridge doesn't erase the river. It doesn't pretend the 2 shores are the same. It simply creates a way for relationships to happen. I like to think of bridging as something my friend Reverend Corrine introduced to CSL Kelowna via the Okanagan multi-faith gatherings. So in Kelowna, We get to, on a monthly basis, go and explore other faiths. We go to a different center. They do a talk, share their beliefs. Then there's time for questions, and then there's time for fellowship afterwards. And we've been to the Sikh temple, the Buddhist temple, the Jewish, the Baha'i. And what I've noticed is that when we join together, we are looking for things that we have in common, not what separates us. So I think of this community as a larger community to which I belong, and that this community also has an energy, a vibration that brings us together as cells in the body or trees in the forest, as it were. Imagine if every one of us left here today asking one simple question: how can I strengthen the web? Not how can I be noticed, not how can I be right, but how can I strengthen the web? Sometimes that's through a smile. Sometimes it's through listening. Sometimes through serving. Other times simply just by showing up. Because every time we strengthen the web, the mycelium, the community, we strengthen ourselves. We really are family. We really do have all our sisters and brothers with us. That isn't just a comforting idea. Perhaps it's the deepest spiritual truth we can practice. Okay. So, thank you for listening patiently, and I am open for questions if anybody has any. Thank you, Paul.
You see, by the way, Reverend Mel, you see, your talk was so powerful that now I got the unmute button.
It
After
was that
all that.
powerful, hey? Well, I'm glad it fixed your phone, computer, laptop, whatever it is you're on. And welcome, Zoom user. Is that Anastasia? Yeah, I think so.
I just wanted to ask you, thanks very much, Reverend Mel, for that. That concept of bridging, I didn't get it properly. You're saying it's the practice of what, just being yourself and letting other people be? Or
It is being willing to let people be who they are. It's like the bridge, you're on one side, the other's on the other. You may have differing opinions, but that bridging brings you together because it's the common humanity. It is the divinity within each of us. So even though there may be worldwide global players or even somebody you personally know who just yanks your chain and gets you going and you disagree with everything that they do, they are still a part of our global community and are part of the divine itself. And once we recognize that, that takes the edge off of all that we are judging them perhaps as. And when you see things differently, things seem to change. Well, it's true for people too, right? So if we could all see people differently, maybe they would change.
okay.
So
Thank
bridging
you.
is really being open to allowing people to be who they are, but recognizing the divinity in them. And then, yeah, that's what it means to me anyway.
Thank you. Thank you for that clarification.
You're welcome.
There's an
Anybody
author, I
else?
think it's Mel Robbins, I think is the name, if I'm getting it correctly, who wrote a book called Let Them Be. So
Yeah.
it's not necessarily about bridging or anything, but it's just that whole um, concept of just allowing, right, other people just to be the way that they are. And we don't
Hmm.
need to be either judging them or correcting them or doing anything, but just accepting,
Hmm.
that that's how they are. And it's not my responsibility to try to do anything to anyone else, but it is my responsibility to let them be, right?
Hmm.
And to be able to do that with an open heart and with an open space. Or I guess that could be the bridge, right? The open heart and the open space, right?
And
So
it can be, but I would like to add to that because it is a great idea. I know who you're speaking of, but I would also like to add that if somebody is causing you direct personal harm, don't let them be. Like exit and get away from that person. You've still got to take care of yourself. I There is still that, if somebody's coming up and they decide to hit me, I'm not going to just let them be. I'm going to either leave or I might actually hit them back. I would probably wouldn't, but you never know because automatic reactions are what they are. But you know, it's that it's both and, let them be and take care of yourself.
yeah, I don't
The,
think she suggests anywhere that you stand there and let somebody hit you.
yeah,
Or
good.
or I'm pretty sure that
No,
uh that's not what she is saying at all. But I think
no.
it was just like it's an approach that reaches many people um because it's not, spiritual or religious or whatever. It's more from a I don't know if she's a psychologist or not, but still it's many of those
Oh, she's
ideas
not.
are are the it's the whole idea of, you know, I don't need to be sitting in judgment of what
Hmm.
somebody else is saying or doing or thinking or whatever. I'm only responsible for myself. Now, if they ask me for my
Yes.
opinion, I am more than happy to give.
Ah, I love that. And the thing is, it's like forgiveness, Forgiveness is for the person who's doing the forgiving. And just the bridging is just to allow us to not have that, because the judgments that I have against other people, who is that hurting? Not the other people. It's hurting me, right? So I don't want to be that person. And globally now, we are being drawn into, or people are trying to draw us into the judgment and the othering and the separation, and I'm not having it. So I'm doing my best, which is an ongoing second by second, minute by minute, hour by hour practice to try and not fall into that othering and the judgment, because we are one. We are all part of the one. And when I see that in people, it really does make the energy shift. And if we can all shift that energy, if we could all get together, use something to send out love, what would the world be like? Yeah. Thanks, Pat. All right. Is there anything else anybody wants to ask or say? And
I just
no.
want to
Oh,
say one of the thing with uh, this teaching is that, okay, let me use that word. It's very idealistic, you know.
hmm.
It's and not that there is anything wrong with that. E- Every other time it calls us to appreciate that there is so much that we can do to ourselves for us to be more complete. Okay, we are already complete, but even to experience more of that we are supposed to be experiencing, we still have a long journey. So, even that, like now, what you've just shared, I like the talk, but now putting it in practice is what is really
Hmm.
a challenge to to let other people be, to shelve the judgment and the thinking that we know it more than they do, and we are there to teach them and to correct them. It's difficult. It's difficult, but I think it's something that what does the talk does is it calls us to think through and kind of say, rethink. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. What I would like to add to that is if I'm getting stuck, because it is a hard practice to do because it's ongoing and the world gives you plenty of opportunity to practice, especially if you're looking at the news or social media, is I would say to myself, what would love do? Simple question. And just use that. If I'm in a situation, what would love do? And it grounds me and brings me back to principle and the teaching, and then I can see things differently. So thank you, Paul. It is a challenge, and I don't know anybody who's perfect at it. So, yeah. All right, next Froggy Friday is, let me look at the schedule. That is the 10th, no, the 26th, no, that's today. The 10th of July, and it's potentially filled to be revealed. So I will let you know when I know for sure who's stepping in to do the talk on July the 10th. And it's going to be a good talk no matter who it is. It always is. It's always engaging, and it's so nice to get together in community. I don't know if our visitors, Lady T and Zoom users, can briefly just share their faces so that I can give you a big smile and see you back. I don't know if that's possible because I know it's always hard with Wi-Fi, but if you are, I would love that. And if the Wi-Fi doesn't allow you, that's okay too. All right. Okay. Does anybody have need of spiritual mind treatment today? If you do, put your hands up. Okay. Looks like we're all good. Everybody's good in a good place. I love to hear that. So we will see you on the next Froggy Friday. And I am going to ask Paul again to close us with the benediction, and then we will be done for the day.
Thank you, Reverend Mel. So join me in gratitude in this sacred moment, just to be grateful for that time that you have had together. Being grateful for the reminder of who we are. We are divine. Grateful for the reminder that we should be expressing the divine. Grateful for the awareness that this is a journey that we have to walk. The most important thing is just to keep on walking this journey. I'm really grateful for this. And as we part, I know Spirit, God, energy, whatever we wish to call this one, is with us, is guiding us, is protecting us, and always showing us the path, always showing us what we need to do next. And together we say, and so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you.
Asante Sana, thank you. Have a lovely evening and a lovely day. Kwaheri.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.